Hello friends, how are you doing? Day 391. Hope you're all doing well. It is freezing today. It's currently, I think, negative minus 9 degrees Celsius. It says the low is minus 14. So hopefully, wherever you're at, that you can stay warm. But today I just want to come in and just share a little bit about a documentary I just saw, followed by a Q&A. The documentary is called A Prayer for Compassion. There's about 30-something people who were screening it along with me. And essentially it talked about, the impact of eating animals, basically. And, a lot of stuff I've heard before and I've seen, but, there were also some other questions that they kind of brought up and points that I'm like, oh, okay. Kind of hear stuff about that, but I'm not too sure. So, if you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear, because again, I don't know everything, and I always wanted to learn more about every perspective if possible. So, it talked about obviously health. Health is a huge thing, and it gave a lot of examples of people who actually were healed by eating a more plant-based diet, by going vegan. Especially people who used to have a lot of issues with their health, and so one of the simple things they could do was just change to a plant-based diet. The challenge they also talked about in our society is that doctors, what they tend to do is just prescribe a bunch of drugs, a bunch of meds, and really what it is it's just trying to fix the problem rather than preventing and healing. Because the way I understand is our body is amazing, and it heals from the inside out if we give it the right nutrition, the right things for the body to actually heal. And so it also talked about how how raising animals contributes to essentially water and air pollution, right? So 70% of our land is actually used to grow feed for animals, and 80% of it of water is for the animals. And the thing is, what if we use that feed or those vegetables, grains, to actually go directly to people instead of to the animals, right? If we did that, how many people can we actually save from starvation? Oh my gosh, especially the billions of children in Africa, as just an example, but there's so many people that can benefit from that. And so the documentary, and then the documentary, again, it brought up a bunch of different things. Another one was, it talked about spirituality. And so this is where, if anyone has scripture or what have you, know more about this, I'd love for you to put it in the comments. But it talked about, in Genesis, it talked about giving fruit. Again, I don't remember the exact scripture, but it talked about giving fruit, and it was very good. And so I don't know where it may say that we should be eating meat. Again, I'm not saying if you do, it's a bad thing necessarily. It's just, I'm just wanting to see where on why people make certain decisions. And then it also talked about all religions. Essentially, it teaches to be loving and to have compassion. And so it makes the argument where, well, if we're supposed to be love and compassion, then where is love and compassion if we are killing animals? And so I said, okay, made some good points. And then one really interesting thing was, he asked the question, would you knowingly kill an animal? And I think for most people, they're like, well, of course not, right? And some people say, well, I didn't kill the animal. But the thing is, you paid for it. You paid somebody to actually kill the animal if you bought it at the grocery store. And so our choices actually impact a lot more than we could ever think of. We just live in a society where a lot of that is hidden, because obviously if people were to think about the choices, it may not actually get you to do the things that they want you to do. Okay, and but Another thing is, it didn't say in this documentary, but before, a lot of the workers who are on these farms who actually kill the animals, a lot of them are actually ex-convicts, and most of them they end up with PTSD, post-traumatic syndrome disease, something like that. And to me that makes sense because, well, I don't know how someone can kill another being on the regular basis and be okay with that. And so just something to think about. I believe in karma, so I try to put out in the world what I want to see back. Again, I'm not perfect at all, but sometimes I think it's easier to kind of just not think about our choices than to actually think about it. And so again, we live in a culture where it's built on shame. A lot of marketing is like, you got to do this, otherwise you won't be enough. Right? We chase things that are outside of us for happiness, when happiness is always inside, my friends. It's always inside of us. If you're not looking there, then you look in the wrong place, and or society has programmed you to look in the wrong places. And so we also live in the time where we have normalized violence. Sometimes people use the reason, it's how things used to be, so don't rock the boat. Right? But for myself, I believe everything is energy. Everything is energy. This desk, the food we eat, human beings, our aura. And so what are you eating? What type of energy are you eating when you're eating plants, when you're eating animals? And so just something, again, in the documentary, it just made me think about. And then he also, the I think director, he talked about why he's doing it is he he thinks people are suffering unnecessarily with their health, not just the physical health, but also spiritual health and emotional health. Because when you talk about energy, if you're putting negative energy or dead energy, if you will, into your body, then how's your body going to react to it? And I think a lot of times it's hard to make changes in the world, in our lives, personal lives, because we may be around a society or people that think a certain way or believe a certain way and not really question it. But a lot of times it's easier to make a change when we're able to actually have these type of one-to-one conversations. But of course, it's always important to have support whenever you're making any type of changes. Hey Beth, how you doing? Thank you for the love. Appreciate it. But for those who don't know, I'm vegetarian over a decade now. 11 years. Yeah, 11 years. Holy crap. 11 years. And I didn't make the change overnight. I shifted slowly. I had seeds planted along the way, and you know what? I feel amazing. I feel light. When I used to eat meat, I felt heavy at times, right? But I've never felt heavy ever since I went I'm vegetarian. So just some things I just want to kind of throw out there. Hey Kate, how you doing? And just hopefully have you think about at the end of the day, you all will make your own decisions on what you want to eat, what you want to do in your life, decisions, right? My hope is to help you spur some thought and some awareness to some of these choices that you're making, because at the end of the day, all of your choices will impact the world in some way, shape, or form, whether we understand it or not. And so just something I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I know it can be a sensitive topic or a deeper topic for others, but I just want to have a little bit of a conversation. Anybody who wants to have a one-to-one, I'm always open to chatting. I love hearing other people's perspectives and learning why people make decisions they do, or questions that you may have. I'm open to answering anything you have. But at the end of the day, we are all one family, my friends, one tribe. Let's look out for each other. All right, have a great night. Bye-bye.